Hi, and welcome to the Ready for Love podcast with Auret, the dating and relationship advice show dedicated to helping you create a single life you love, date with confidence and ease, and ultimately attract the love of your life. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Ready for Love podcast. This is Hannah Whitehead, dating coach and your host. So I'm really excited about today's episode. It's a special interview and my very special guest is Hannah Whitehead, founder of Good Deed Dating. Now, Good Deed Dating launched in June 2016 and it is designed to bring together kind-hearted single people by combining good deeds with great dates. I just love that. And Hannah has had an absolute whirlwind of a year, and one of the highlights has been winning the Innovation in Dating Award at the UK Dating Awards in 2016. And Good Deed Dating was also a finalist for Female Startup of 2016 and came second at the International iDate Awards for Best Up-and-Coming Dating Site. Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. It's just wonderful to have you here. I'm just glad you could make time for us with all your busyness.
Yes, very busy at the moment, but it's really lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. So it's been just an incredible, it's not really even been a year and things have just really, really taken off. How are you making this happen?
Yeah, it has been pretty amazing, actually. I'd never expected quite this response. We launched in June 2016 and people just love the concept of it, which is fab. I'm just so pleased that people like the idea of it. I think it's something that hasn't happened before, and they do it actually in other countries. It's going on. So they have similar setups in the US and I think in New Zealand and Australia, but no one's done it in the UK yet. So it's a really new idea and a fresh perspective on dating, and people seem to really like the idea of it. So I'm just so grateful that people are getting on board with the idea, really. And as you say, when you reel off the things that we've managed to achieve in such a short time, it's pretty amazing. I'm very, very grateful.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So when you talk about the idea and the whole concept, can you just tell us a little bit more, and everybody that's listening, what is Good Deed Dating, really all about, and also how it came about?
Yeah, so my background actually isn't in the dating industry at all. In fact, it's not even in business. My background is in volunteer management. So I've always worked in the charity sector, and I've worked with various charities, and we've always tried to find really exciting ways to get people volunteering. And it was about 2 years ago now, I was trying to think of exciting ways to get, particularly we were looking at young professionals, trying to get young professionals volunteering, think of new and exciting ways to do that. And I suddenly had the idea we could run some singles nights. And the more people I spoke to about this idea, the more people were saying, that's fantastic. You could take it so much further than just working with one charity. And it wasn't really until I started looking into it, I thought surely someone's out there doing it already, but they weren't. So I kind of took the plunge and went part-time and started building this network of charities that were interested in working with us, which was great. And obviously with my charity background, I know how important it is that people in the charity sector are always trying to access new audiences to get involved in their work and to support their causes, because volunteering is such an important element of that third sector. So it all came about really from there. I suppose there was a need that arose in the charity sector that I spotted and just kind of went for it. So all I've really done is try and rebrand volunteering as something that's really fun and engaging and easy for people to do, because there's so many barriers to volunteering when you're working with a charity. There's so many checks you have to do for certain roles and paperwork to fill out, and usually people are looking for a regular commitment as well. So you might have to volunteer once a week or once a month, and in this day and age, people just don't have time for that. So what we've done is make it really short, sharp, snappy bursts of volunteering that people can just buy a ticket for and sign up online. No hassle, you just show up and hopefully find love.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I remember we met at the UK Dating Awards last year, and I didn't actually, at the time, I only just found out about what you were doing kind of around that time. And, I just knew that I wanted to speak to you because I love the whole philosophy behind it, and kind of the twin track almost about helping singles making connections and at the same time raising the profile and working with charities. It's just it's just wonderful.
Well, thank you.
So typically, how would it work if I'm interested in coming to, one of the events? Or can you just talk me through the kind of the process, or anybody out there that's listening, if they're interested in coming to one of your events or signing up, and how does it actually work?
Yeah, of course. It's actually, like I said, we try and make it as simple as possible. So we have a membership, so people can sign up to be members with us. And I think it's relatively cheap if you look at what else is around. So we charge £25 for the year, which most people go for, or £10 a month if you're looking to pay monthly. And then you are a member with us, and that's really to keep our database up to date. So we can keep track of everyone. And then you just buy a ticket for whichever event you fancy. And we've started trying to segment our audiences a bit more specifically than we were in the beginning, because we didn't have a huge audience in the beginning, but now we've got enough people to start drilling down on those age groups. That's the only way we split people up. So you buy a ticket for the age group that you're within, or if you're looking to meet someone older or younger, you can buy a ticket for a different age group and then come along. And usually it's because you have engaged in some way with the charity perhaps that we're working with, or the particular activity that we're running. So there's loads of different things that might catch your eye about what we're running, and then you literally just show up on the day, and then it's a group of people. It completely depends. The size of the group depends on how many people the charity are looking for that particular activity. So it could be 4 or 6 people, quite a small group, or it could be bigger. Usually about 10 is our average. Mm-hmm. But we've been asked by charities to kind of do up to 50 people for a big thing. So there's a whole different range of activities and events that we run, and we're looking at at the moment we're looking out to what people are interested particularly to get involved in, and working out some new ideas for different events that we could work on.
Yeah, well, I just I had a good look at your site, and obviously the all the different events and things that are going on. So I just wonder, how do you keep coming up with all these amazing ideas and running all these different events? Because there really is something for everybody, I think, in terms of what you would be interested in going to do some volunteering around.
Yeah, I think that's the thing actually I'm finding, which is incredible, is that there are so many charities out there. There are thousands of charities in this country, and if you look at the international charities, I mean, it's just huge amounts of things that are going on. And if you think about the breadth of those charities and all the different things that they're trying to achieve, all of those different activities and different opportunities that they run, we just work with them to try and do something that's really fun and different for people. So it could be anything from gardening to, I don't know, working in a community kitchen. One of our favourites is a cat socialising evening that we do, which is one of the cat homes in North London, the Mayhew Animal Home. They need volunteers to come in and basically just play with their cats for an hour. Just
gosh,
to keep them.
I love it.
I know, honestly, it's amazing. And what I love about that is we get so many people that are cat people coming, and they want to meet someone that's also a cat person. So in a way, you're already matching with people that you have something really brilliant in common with, and you share those values. So yeah, I mean, you name it, there's a charity that does it. And if they want to work with us, then we can develop really amazing opportunities to do, crazy events that are so different. And that's part of what we love about what we do, is making sure that the events are really, really fun.
Yeah. That just sounds so fun. And are you mainly London based?
Yes, at the moment we are, and we've thought long and hard about expanding, and we get a lot of interest from people outside of London. But because we're still so new, and I think sometimes we forget how new we are, we're still just trying to make sure that we can really get the offer right here. And then as soon as we know that that works, we can then roll it out across the country. And what's brilliant is with the charities that we work with, a lot of them are national. So they have different hubs all over the country, and we can kind of work with them to pop up in different cities. And then, looking further afield, we do have a number of international charities as well. So we're looking at ways that we could maybe do some things outside the UK. And so that's a huge feat that we'll aim for one day. But it's an exciting prospect.
I'm sure you're going to do it, Hannah. Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to trying. It'll be great.
You're only just getting started. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
So I have to ask, any love stories, any couples, anything exciting that you can maybe share with us, maybe one or so?
Yeah. I mean, we do see, because it's so informal and there's no sort of pressure on people, you do see these, well, to begin with, their friendships and people getting to know each other right in front of your eyes, because it's a group of people and the focus is on the activity that you're doing and the charity that you're supporting. There's less stress and pressure on people. The spotlight's not on you as a single person trying to meet someone else. So we do see relationships forming right in front of our eyes, which is great. And at our very first proper paid event, because we ran lots of test events before we really launched, it was a dog show on Hampstead Heath, and we had a team of people helping with fundraising at this dog show. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the event, I remember there were two people who had been kind of chatting quite a lot through the event, and then I just saw them strolling off across Hampstead Heath into the sunset towards the pub, which was really lovely. So I think that was and it was brilliant, because that was the very first real event we'd run, and we proved the theory that good deed dating works right there and then, and it was just brilliant, a really amazing moment. So that was a really lovely memory to have. But I suppose the other success stories that we have, they're about the charities we work with as well. And one of our big aims is to support the charities, and we do that in lots of ways. But one of the ways that I really appreciate that works is that people get to know about the charities and hear about their message, and then they kind of get hooked and they want to get involved. So some of our charities have had brilliant success in I suppose converting those good deed daters into long-term volunteers that want to get involved more. The Mayhew Animal Home have had quite a lot of success with people fostering their animals or adopting. And then, of course, there's the fundraising as well. So people like to donate afterwards, which is just brilliant to see. So the charities are really benefiting as well.
Gosh, Hannah, I'm so pleased to hear that.
It's
really, it's in some ways, it's such a simple concept in a way, and you're just making it work so well.
Well, thank you. We're trying.
Oh, and I think I can hear you're quite a romantic at heart. So
yes,
all
definitely.
These love stories that might be going on out there that you might not even know about.
Yes, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are, because we don't always get to the events ourselves. So the charities run them. So we rely on their feedback and rely on hearing from people. So there may well be loads of things going on that we don't know about, but we'll have to touch base with everyone and make sure we're keeping track.
Yeah. So at the time we're speaking, it's just a couple of days after Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And you had a really fun thing going on.
We did.
Just tell us a little bit what, because this is just another example of the kind of really fun stuff that you're doing. So just tell us about your Valentine's Day campaign almost.
Yes. Well, it was a really big day, you're right. It was, I'm still recovering, to be honest, but it was fantastic. We, like I said, we're really new, really small, and we are a social enterprise. So 25% of our profit goes back to our charity partners. So we don't make any money from it. It all gets reinvested in the company. So which means that our budgets are tiny. So we didn't have much money towards a big marketing campaign for Valentine's Day, like a lot of big companies do. And you see billboards or on the tube or at bus stops, huge posters of different dating apps and websites. And we can't even compete with that. So we decided decided we'd do something a little bit different. We wanted to spread some love in London, which is a big part of what we try and do. So we decided to leave 1,000 secret love notes all over the city for people to find, which is brilliant. And
did you say 1,000?
1,000, yeah,
Oh.
which seemed to me to be quite a small number, but we're trying to hand out 1,000 love notes in London. It's quite a big ordeal. But we got our deeders, is what we call our customers. We got our deeders in to come and write all of these love notes. So we had 2 events where people came and just jotted down something really nice for someone to pick up, and it wasn't just for single people; it was for anyone. No matter what age you were, anyone could pick these up, and we just wanted to, make someone smile. So we wrote 1,000 love notes, and then we got up really early on Valentine's Day with all of our volunteers and just handed them out around London. So we left them on the tube, at bus stops, in cafes. I left a number in people's bicycle baskets, just for them to find. So it was brilliant, and we had such a fantastic response. People just loved the idea, and I think really appreciated the gesture, which was fab. So It was a big day.
I love it. I think I saw a picture of one stuck on a red post box somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Really, really good.
So, Hannah, just in terms of, in the end, obviously the aim is to support charities, but also to help people find love, right?
Yeah.
Find the right person. So I just wondered if I can ask you a little bit about, what do you think is the number one reason people are successful when it comes to finding love? What's your view on that?
I think the big one for me is to be yourself when you're meeting people. So I think a lot of people, they aren't necessarily themselves when they meet someone. Maybe that's because they've got concerns about what people might think about them, or they want to portray themselves to be, I don't know, cooler or different to who they are. And I think that's the number one problem perhaps for people, is that if they're putting themselves out there as someone who they're not going to find anyone that's going to love them for who they are. So I think being yourself when you're on a date and meeting someone is really, really important. And equally, for me, and I know I'm biased, but I really think the key to finding someone when you're dating is to meet them and get to know them in person. I know the online dating scene is moving offline now, and we run these events based on no interaction at all. So people don't know who's going to the event, they don't know who's going to be there or anything about anyone. So they have to meet people based on a real life experience. So there's no prejudgments. You can't judge anyone based on their profile picture or what they say in their bio. So it's all about meeting someone and getting to know them for them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really key when you're dating, is being true to yourself and meeting someone who is true to themselves and understanding whether you've got that connection from the very beginning. Yeah. I think that's really key, definitely.
I love it. One of those super key dating coach messages as well.
Good. I'm glad I'm on message.
Yeah, totally. And I guess with the events that you're running, just turning up at something that you're really interested in as a person, just you as an individual. You're not trying to impress anybody. It's just something that comes naturally to you, and you want to be there, and it doesn't kind of matter in a way what comes out of it, because you're going there to do something for somebody else or give something back, or yes. I guess that just puts you in a whole different mindset almost.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we always say, actually. There's no date wasted, because even if you don't find somebody, you know that you've spent your time really well. So I know a lot of my friends who are out dating, they go out for, meals with people, and at the end of it, they just feel like, hey, they've wasted maybe 2 or 3 hours of their life, but also they've wasted a good sort of 20, 40, 50 quid on a meal with someone that they won't see again. So I think what people love about good deed dating is that there's no wasted time, there's no, wasted energy, because every time you're doing something really positive, and you can see the difference you're making. So in a way, a lot of people think that the dating is just a really happy byproduct of the volunteering. So you end up, if you meet someone, that's just a really lovely bonus. But I think that's definitely something we found is people really appreciate that when you come on a good deed date, you know that the people there share your values, and that's such an important element of what people are looking for, is that someone shares their values and is a kind person. And immediately you know that you've got those two things in the bag when you meet them on a good deed date, because they do share your values, and you know they're kind because they're giving up their time to do something really positive. So that's something that I hope people really enjoy about our dates.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's so important, because getting to that point when you just do online dating or so on, is just getting through all those filters almost. Can take such a long time. Yeah. And sometimes people don't go that far, so they might actually be missing out on a really, really great person just because, they didn't take the time to get to know them, or whatever the case may be. So just by going on your kind of date, that in itself is a huge filtering process.
Absolutely. And because we don't match people, actually what I hope is happening is people are meeting someone that they might not have expected they would fall for. So I know we've all got these ideals in our minds of who we want to meet, and they have to be, this age, this height, and all of those different things that you have in your mind of what people should be when you meet them. And actually, if you were to bump into them on the street, they probably wouldn't be the right person for you. And actually, the person you end up with is someone you never thought you would do in the first place. So hopefully what we're doing is breaking down those preconceptions and those barriers that people put in front of themselves. And, all the hoops that someone's got to jump through to be the perfect person, they just disappear because you meet them in real time, and you share an experience with them, and you get to know them on a level that you perhaps would never do if you were on an app or on a site. So hopefully that offline dating, which I know lots of people are really into these days, and all the different events companies that are out there, they are offering something really different, and hopefully a really positive way of meeting people.
Exactly. Oh, Hannah, I'm so excited for you guys and where this is going and where this can go. And, I hope lots and lots of people can hear this interview, and especially in London, obviously, and that will take you up on
Thank you. Yeah,
events
hopefully
that you're offering. It's wonderful.
Thanks.
So you mentioned earlier a little bit about, in terms of expansion and so on.
Yeah.
What are your other plans? What are you working on at the moment? What other exciting things that are coming up?
Yeah, so we're doing some really exciting stuff at the moment, actually. We've just launched this new kind of event that we're doing. We're calling it speed deeding, which is basically
Love it.
it's a lunchtime date. So you do it on your lunch break, and it's just an hour long. And you go and do something really positive for an hour. It hasn't taken any time out of your day because it was your lunch break anyway. And you go and meet people that way. So it's this new super accessible way of dating. And the tickets are half the price, which is really good. And you go along and do something really positive for an hour, meet some people, and then head back to work. So that's a really exciting new idea that we're running. And we got our first speed deed on Pancake Day, actually. Ooh. So we're helping out with a pancake race, which is going to be Spitalfields Market, and we need people to help with that. So that's going to be a really exciting event. But hopefully lots more of that kind of stuff to come. And then, like I said, we're looking at pop-up events all over the country, which would be great. Just lots more of the same that we're hoping to do, to be honest. And then potentially doing some good deed mini breaks. If we find that there's an appetite out there for it, go away for a couple of days to do something really positive, and hopefully people meet someone on that trip. So there's lots of potential ideas in the pipeline, and we just need to figure out what's realistic.
I'm just sitting here, just getting so excited for you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, Hannah, that's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can
good.
see lots of good deed babies in the future.
Well, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? That would be great.
Know, yes.
Yeah, very exciting. We've also actually we're relaunching our website quite soon as well, so that's in the pipeline.
Okay.
And hopefully getting an app in the App Store. So that will hopefully make it more accessible for people to get involved in what we're up to.
Yeah. Okay. So just talking about the kind of that side of things, how can people get in touch with you, and what's the best way to check you out and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so our website is gooddeeddating.co.uk, so you can have a look on there and read up all about what we're up to. We're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and that's a really nice way of just touching base with us, really, because we're on there all the time. But if you prefer to chat to us, then anyone can give us a call in the office. We're always there and really happy to talk to people that are interested in what we're up to. And we love to hear feedback and ideas. And, if anyone's got any ideas for events that we could run or charities we could work with, then we're really keen to hear all of that. So do get in touch anytime.
Mm-hmm. So whether you're single or whether you're somebody who is listening right now and you know of a charity or run a charity, both ways, just get in touch.
Absolutely. Yes, that would be great.
Okay. Awesome. So Hannah, I just have two more questions to ask, because I always ask my guests these two questions, which are two of my favorites.
Okay.
And since we're in the business of love,
we are.
So what is your definition of love?
Well, I think about this a lot, actually, because one of our 4 aims as a company, one of them is to spread love in London. And a lot of people just assume that's all about romantic love. But for me, it's so much more than that, because I think love, another word for love in my eyes is kindness. And so we talk a lot about spreading the love in London, but actually what we mean by that is just being kind to one another. And I think there's a huge world out there that people who are just not necessarily spreading the love and aren't necessarily that kind. And if we all just were a bit more, I think the world would have a lot more love. So in terms of that, for us, it's linked with kindness. It's all about doing good deeds, be that positive person in life. And it spreads, I think, love as well. When you're kind to someone else, then it breeds, which is what we all want. So especially in the climate of the world today, I think we could all do with a bit more love. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's so true. So it's all about community as well. So love of your community, love of your neighbours, getting to know the people that live around you, and your city as well, loving London. But I suppose in other ways, when you're talking about being in love, for me, that's finding that someone you can be yourself with, who loves you for you, and who makes you a better person, really. So there's those two ways of looking at it, really, for me, anyway. I don't know. That's my
I love it. I just always love just hearing people's perspective, and we all have our own ways of describing it, and I just love it. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Of course.
So it's all about being the love.
Yes, exactly. So definitely for me, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you certainly walk your talk, lady.
I try.
Okay, so just before we finish off, your ultimate relationship tip or some wisdom you share, there's just one thing that you want to leave us and anybody who's listening with, what would that be?
I think it's all about being brave. I think it's about being brave, being yourself, and putting yourself out there. Because if you put yourself and your kindness and your love, if you put it all out there, I think it comes back. So loads of people I know who are my friends who are single and find it really difficult to be single, looking at the dating world of being really, really negative. I think it's not necessarily, it's all out there for the taking. And I think just being brave enough to be out there and doing it with a smile as well is definitely the way forward. So Yeah, I think positivity is the key. Yeah, for me, I think that's definitely it. And yeah, like I said, being yourself and not being quick to judge people, getting to know them before you probably write them off is how it goes. But hopefully getting to know someone and understanding them, and they might just be the one.
So true. So true. Thank you so much, Hannah.
Thanks for having me. It's been lovely.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, listen, I just want to wish you, from my side and all my listeners and my community, just want to wish you all the very best and say thank you for all the amazing work that you're doing.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful, and I can just see you going from strength to strength, and you're really an inspiration.
That's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
So pass my love on to your team as well.
Of course.
Yeah, I hope we'll see each other in London sometime soon.
Definitely.
That would be lovely. But thank you so much for coming on and talking to me today, Hannah. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Anne.
Okay. All right, take care. So I'm just going to finish off and say again, remind you to check out gooddeeddating.co.uk. So website, but also on Facebook, Twitter, and I'm obviously following you, and I love your Instagram account, so I check you out on there a lot. So yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here today. This is Hannah Auret, dating coach and host of the Ready for Love podcast. And of course, I will upload this episode on the datingcoach.uk. My website on the podcast page, and I'll obviously also send out the link and so on, Hannah, and then you and I can share it across our various channels, of course. Great. As well. All right, so we're going to finish off, and wherever you are, I'm sending you lots of love. Take care, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Bye for now.